All right, so I'm going to go ahead and set up a blank project, and I'm going to import an older version of EMI for the sake of showing how you can upgrade it. Okay, Invector is imported. Let's go ahead and import an older version. And I'm doing as we can see here, 043, and then I'll be upgrading it to 050. So let's go ahead and import 043 and set that up. Okay, so you can ignore this particular error. This is a bug with 043. I am running a valid version of Invector, but we can see here that it says running older base version 043, and there is a newer version out there right now, 050. So I see this and I'm like, oh, cool, let's go ahead and import it. There are two different types of scenarios when it comes to upgrading the package. I'm going to show the worst of the scenario. 043 to 050 is a minor upgrade. If it's just a patch version upgrade, you probably won't get too many issues. But in this particular case, there is quite a bit that has changed from 043 to 050. And let's go ahead and see that in action. So I'm going to go ahead and import 050. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, and you don't need to change anything here. And this is going to be the same for any version. You never have to change anything. So go ahead and say import. Okay, I was expecting there to be errors, so I'm a little bit skeptical in terms of that. So let's say you did get errors here. I was expecting errors. Maybe I didn't import project settings or something. I'm not sure, but I was expecting an error to happen. Normally, when something like this happens, when you first import and there's no errors, you can continue on just fine. Now, I have actually imported only half of the package, so it's not completely upgraded. If you get a situation like this where you import it and there's no errors, we can continue. And you'll notice that I opened up here and it didn't say anything. It says, hey, you're now running the latest base version. This version fixes that error, but it's actually not imported. Don't let this fool you. What we actually need to do here is, in this particular version, I can't remember if I added it here. It looks like I didn't. Okay, so I'm going to go and find the highest tier Invector version that I have. And Easy Multiplayer Invector follows the same folder pattern here where we got basic locomotion, melee, and shooter. So I'm going to find the highest tier, which is shooter here. And I'm going to go to editor. I'm going to say scripts converted and imported here. Find both of these files, and I'm going to delete them. What that does is it will trigger this particular EMI window. When it first loads, it looks for those two scripts. If it doesn't find scripts converted with the value of true, it will show the convert Invector scripts button. If it doesn't find the imported, it will show the import here, but you have to do things in order. So I'm going to go ahead and say convert Invector scripts, and I'm going to let that do its thing. Perfect. All right, so we got our first error. Awesome. I was hoping to get issues like this so I can show you. So you'll notice I clicked out of here. It recompiled, but this still thinks I need to recompile. So it's a simple fix here. If we open up that scripts converted here, you'll see it says false. When it says false, that indicates, hey, this needs to recompile. So since I already did recompile and I validated that, I'm going to go ahead and just open this up and change this value from false to true. Save it and move that out here. We're going to come back in and we're going to close this window and reopen it. And just like that, it thinks it's recompiled and it's moved on. Now it's showing the import packages because I deleted that imported.txt file. And this is the thing that's actually going to import the meat of the package. What we've done with the first package here is that we've simply just imported a few editor helpers. So I'm going to go ahead and click import packages to import everything else. This is all those multiplayer underscore files, all that stuff. I mean, look at all this stuff. I mean, that's a whole bunch. Okay, so it's generated that imported and it was successful. So it marked it as true. And just like that, we have successfully upgraded our project from 043 to 050. Now let's look at this again. But this time, let's pretend that when I ran through import package, custom package, and I imported it here, it's not going to show as anything because I've got it up to date. But let's say I imported that and it immediately showed errors. If that is ever the case, the easiest thing to do is simply to delete this entire directory and start over. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to say delete this easy multiplayer and vector directory. And you notice there's no issues. It's because everything is self-contained within there. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to say import custom package. The newest package version, we're going to go ahead and import that. And essentially we're going to do the exact same thing we did before. We're going to come over to here. We are going to convert the invector scripts. After the invector scripts are finished converting, we will import the package, and after that, everything should be good. So it's just basically an additional step. If you do get errors when you first import here, you'll need to delete the directory and start from scratch. And it looks like this is kind of a common issue where we need to come in here to the highest tier, open this up, change it to true, close that window, open it back up, import the package. And voila, we are upgraded. So that's a way you can update the EMI package to a newer version and some potential issues and errors you might encounter along the way. It's important to understand why I always tell you you should override these scripts and never change them in place. It's because of situations like this. If you are ever needing to upgrade and you get an issue, you're gonna have to delete this directory. And if I, let's say come into here, if I have modified this particular script to have my own custom logic in here instead of overriding it like you should, now I've basically shot myself in the foot, and I'm gonna have to come in here. I'm gonna have to change this to like backup or something, and then I'm gonna have to import the new version, and I'm gonna have to manually reconcile all the files, and that is like a nightmare fuel scenario you want to avoid. That is why you should never, ever, ever change these files yourself. Never change these files. Don't ever do it. Never come in here and manually fix a file. Write your own component and derive from these and override them. The same goes for Invector. Invector will tell you the same thing. Never, ever, ever change anything inside of these two directories. Don't ever do it. If you do, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot when it comes to upgrade time, because you're going to basically create a lot of additional work that you could avoid it if you just create a new directory and put your own custom project files in there. So hopefully that explains how you can upgrade your project. In this particular version, I upgraded it from 043 to 050, and hopefully you can use this exact same thing to upgrade pretty much any other version to any newest version.